Alright, what's up yins guys? Time for another video in my video series about the real life Yu-Gi-Oh games that people play, and remind you once again, don't watch this video if you're looking for the actual Yu-Gi-Oh game. Not misleading anybody, it's not about that. It's using the Yu-Gi-Oh cards as a metaphor. But if you're a little bit curious about it and want to humor, go and watch on. But that's my disclaimer, just so you know. But anyway, this next Yu-Gi-Oh card that people play, I hate to say it, but since drug use is so fucking common in damn near every walk of life anymore, people can get away with this card, the accusation of drug use card. They can use this so freely, and matter of fact, no matter how you publicly disprove people or what you ever do, or say you get involved in charity and put money out there in public, or if you're the person that can give a large amount of money to the church, even in certain cases, if you're a church person, Lord, look at all this money. But you can be accused of being on drugs simply because this is the many ways that just because you don't act, look, dress, or have any opinions that are anybody else's, that's your opinions and beliefs, where you carry yourself and the way you dress ain't theirs if you don't follow their virtual signals. I mean, you don't even have to get into any arguments about politics, racial issues, religion, or anything. And if you choose to be cordial with some of these people, they can be co-workers, they can be neighbors, both white and black, and you can be black watching us, both black and white, and your own will do this, that yeah, they're on crack, they're on drugs card. And for example, you don't get into any arguments for any period of time, whether it's a workplace or anywhere. Yeah, there's a part of it where, yeah, you don't have the same opinions, and like I said, and to make it clear too, virtual signaling is not entirely racial, unlike these other YouTubers are saying about social justice. That was been around even with your own kind. You can be black or be white in your own people. Say if you're not in a particular clique, there's a virtue signal about every way you dress, wear your hair, and if you don't, there's like signals or hints, maybe in cordial conversation, whether it's in workplaces, maybe ways you're supposed to dress. Well, it starts even when you're freaking in school. Another thing, like I said, everybody just acts like school kids, but when you're not in school and they're older anymore, there's a hybridized version of, say, the gossips. The women, whether it's in school or when they turn into old ladies, both black or white, you got the hens, the gossips in the workplace. And then the men gossips, it's a different way, which it will dovetail in several other Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I can mention later. It goes arm in arm with them. Of a Yu-Gi-Oh card I'll talk about, that there's the, even if disproven, I got buddies that stand by me and with me, that I'm always right card, you know, even when they're disproven card, and there's shit like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, no matter, and say if you choose to not even get into any conversation, you don't even have to. You can be cordial with people and know where shit's going. Don't talk about religion, politics, any issues. And you are cordial, you keep a fair distance. But you don't, and in doing so, don't follow any of the virtual signals, and say you're not in any rush to run out and grace yourself with any changing of your hair, image, opinions. You don't seem eager to want to be graced with their presence or in their clique. You walk around with your head high, and whether a smirk on your face, or be cordial with people, and you're like, you're unfazed by anybody's remarks or whatever. You have and you always question something somebody tells you. You're automatically on crack. You don't have the right opinions, and you say, even if you don't get into an argument. I mean, you could have a big, thick encyclopedia about the accusation of drug use card, and the gossips will be like, well, no matter how you disprove them, these people are stubborn as is all fucking hell. You can have an encyclopedia of excuses. And like I said, drug use is so common. It's like, and the people that usually do this too, damn near every time, you'll find out that they got some relatives, like whatever age group, maybe they'll have a son, a relative, just on and off drugs and in and out of jail, and they put resources into. You'll hear snippets of certain things in a workplace. Somebody will tell you, "Oh yeah, so and so says is this or that." Yeah, and it becomes quite clear they got some relative somewhere. They're jealous of you. They want you to fail. And it could be, yeah, some of your own relatives that are jealous. I mean, you might have a mother's sister, like aka aunt, a son or something is always on there, and you might have people in your family, or not even family, like neighbors. So and so's kid has been in and out of rehab, jail, and drugs, and he's only in rehab because the courts forced him to. And they're jealous of so and so, maybe that has longer hair or whatever, and so they got to say that, repetitive stuff. The object of the game is almost always to project the shit where they have relatives on drugs or whatever, and the biggest purveyors of drugs, they want to project, they're jealous and they want to project that onto somebody else, like kind of a scapegoating thing. Or in some cases, they hope, they're looking for somebody else to fail, and they have like, in a lot of cases, these people, if anybody else is dumb enough to associate with them, they're looking for a fall guy or a fall girl or something, and that's what they're trying to generate. Even without association, they want the motive behind this gossip is to create a like a sacrificial lamb, because this person's my relative, my friends or whatever, oh, how terrible and embarrassing is that person that looks this way, long hair or whatever, and this other person that they're coddling, that might have been one day, the cute one, the one that was always everybody was friends with, that was so awesome, and then that person takes the fall, goes to parties and gets on the drugs, as the one that always their people are looking to project that onto somebody else. That, oh, how dare him, walk around with his head up, whether he's financially good at the moment and even not as financially good for a time, still walking around confident, everything else. That they hate they hate you with every fiber of their existence. And there is a point. I always have sarcasm with friends of mine, both black and white, and neighbors and different people, and friends, and that these people will be so obsessive with you, obsessed with it. They basically, it's like they have a weird obsession with you, and they don't want to be the only lone person that's has a problem inside their head, like that they're some lone person obsessed with you, like maybe they have some kind of obsession, mental problem or something. So they get their buddies all together that maybe have a like-minded collective jealousy and hate, you know what I mean? So they go and talk this bullshit, and it's always about projecting something onto somebody else, and that's the way it's always going to be. And oh yeah, getting to the sarcastic joke that I tell friends and certain friends, neighbors of both black or white, and even some of you guys, they're so obsessed in such a way that even though I'm saying this sarcastically, they just might have a shrine with your picture on it somewhere, and an altar, and they're chanting some kind of religious prayer. He, she is on crack. He, she is on crack or drugs or whatever. Turn it into religion, no matter how it's disproven, or how dare you make friends that say the opposite. How dare you have friends and that can back you up and say the opposite. We'll turn it into damn near like a religion in our clique and just keep repeating it. And you wouldn't put it past them to actually raise money and build a temple dedicated to their belief, maybe an altar that's shaped like a crack pipe or something. You put your picture on it, be that obsessed with you. Prayer rug in front of it. He say if you're a girl, you're a dude or a chick watching this, if you're black or white watching this, and of any of your own. I mean, it's like this behavior has no racial limits. It can be your own people that are jealous of you will do this shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, they'll dedicate. They're so fucking stubborn and so obsessed that they'll actually may even build a temple dedicated to their stubborn ass belief that literally and then you gotta laugh at them or whatever too. That's all you can do is just laugh. But there's no shaking them. There's no saying in their eyes. There's no saying any kind of a way. Well, okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe somebody else was. I'm listening to other people's rumors. I don't know, but yet drug use is so common. But yet the biggest purveyors of the drugs are the ones saying that about everybody else. And it's always people that are insecure about themselves, it's repetitively, you know what I mean? And to a point they might even repetitively call cops on you or whatever the hell when you don't know about it or some kind of shit, And there can be a point where the cops might actually go to the point where they'll give some homeless people jobs at a hotline and a phone, and just have them just answer the phones or some kind of stuff and blow these people off just to get all the repetitive police calls off of the main 911 line or whatever the hell, so you can see how this can be a very big problem. I mean, but yeah, you got the stubborn haters that will do that, you know what I mean too, but